I'll take my whiskey. Bum 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 ba 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 ba. Da 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 da. We've got just a random Saturday night live stream, something I never do. I need to fix this camera angle a little bit, I feel. Let's try and raise this up a little bit. You bring it back. Just a touch. Just some more of the bar there. How's that? Let's see. Let's see how this looks. So that my head's not cut off too. There we go. I like the look of that. That's better. Camera's in a better spot in my opinion. All right, we've got some people coming in here. What's going on, everybody? If you guys are brand new, make sure you guys drop that like. There we go. We have a fun little blind here tonight involving the Green River Foolproof to see just how well it's going to fare. What's going on, Richie? What's going on, Keith? What's going on, everybody? How's everybody's Saturday night going, right? A weird Saturday night for me to be streaming. It's weird. It's weird. But I am all for these weird night streams, right? Because it's July 4th weekend, the restaurant, I'm in the middle of New Jersey. I'm nowhere near the shore, so everybody is down at the shore or grilling this weekend, so we had very, very low covers. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'll take the night off and bring you guys a nice little live stream, right? Richie, I love this Green River too. I really do. It's for what this bottle has to offer for the price. You can't beat it. And I want to see what it's going to do against Old Forester 1920, Wild Turkey Rare Breed, and then I throw in a fun one for it, the Weller Foolproof. All of these are like super close and proof, so I figured why not see which one of these comes out on top, right? But I'll wait a couple more minutes. Let's get some more folks in this, and we'll get into this. What's going on, Steve? Yeah, I'm happy to be doing these lives. Again, it's one of those things that like I don't really do them because I hardly ever have the time. And Monday nights for me are weird. Sunday nights are weird, and I'd like to do them Friday, Saturday nights, but I don't get home from work until like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. So I don't know if you guys want those late night streams. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know. We'll figure that out on another day. We'll wait a couple more minutes, get some more folks in on this bad boy here. How's everybody's 4th of July? Let me know in the comments below. What you guys do? Did you go out? Did you grill? Did it rain on your 4th? Because we had somewhat not the best weather here, but it held out for the most part. We got a lot of fun reviews coming up here too. Getting some fun bottles in. All these new people that are joining in, make sure you guys drop that like. Let's get into it in about 5 minutes. At about like 7:08, 7:09, I will explain for the majority what we are doing here today, and we'll get into it and have some fun, right? Richie, 4th of July, I just worked, but still was good. Good to hear. Hey, that's all right. That's all right. Usually I work 4th of July. This year we did a pig roast at the restaurant. Last year we had just like a fun little bar scene outside. But I decided, I just did not want to work the 4th of July this year. Thanks, Richie. Thanks, Richie. Here we go. Here we go. Get some more folks in here. It's an earlier night live stream too, 7 o'clock here on ES for the Eastern time zone. So it's probably like, what is that, 4 o'clock for all you people out in California, I think. But we'll see who joins up. Steve, what are you sipping on? Richie, what are you sipping on? Let me know in the comments. Keith, what are you sipping on? But I'm sipping on water right now. I didn't have a sip of anything today before I got into this. I think you go into this completely like blind in the palate, and we'll see what happens. Maybe I should pour a 90 proofer just to get my palate acclimated. Let's see. What should I pour here? If you guys are new, make sure you guys drop that like. Pour a little Buffalo Trace. Just a little pour, get my palate acclimated to some whiskey, right? VOB or Eagle Rare? Very Old Barton. It's an interesting one. I would tend to go for Eagle Rare over Very Old Barton. I think Very Old Barton has this like mustiness to it, kind of like a dusty attic that I'm not the biggest fan of, Weller 107 store pick. I don't. Okay, all right. I like it. I haven't had a 107 store pick. I'm Cali Bay area. It's 100 degrees. I have a Dragon's Milk Tales of Gold beer and Green River single barrel Bevmo pick. So there's some synchron. I see that there, Richie. I see that. Yeah, it's here in Jersey right now. We were at like 98 degrees and like 72% humidity. So it felt like, even though it was 92, it felt like 101. It was awful. You walked outside and you were immediately sticky. It was just gross. It was awful. Steve, that's amazing. I've always wanted to try one, and I want to see, because a lot of people like these Weller foolproof store picks, but I feel like the 107s, they might be a little bit better because of that 107 proof point. One of my favorite proof points. Just picked up the new Maker's Heart Release and a Templeton 10-year rye. Steve, did you open the Heart Release yet? Because I have yet to find one here in Jersey. I know that they've dropped. Most stores only got 2 or 3 bottles. I've been hearing mixed reviews about that bottle, and I want to know what you guys think about it for those of you that have gotten that bottle. I'll be opening it, but just got home, so not yet. All right, Steve, that's no worries, no worries. Couple more minutes, I'll give you guys an explanation on what's going on here. As you can see, we're doing a blind. It's going to be a fun one. We'll be talking a little bit. We'll go for about an hour, hour and a half, and who knows? If we're having fun, maybe we'll go a little bit longer. I don't know. We'll find out. Salty Lettuce is in the house. Salty, what you drinking right now? Because right now I'm sipping on a little Buffalo Trace, getting my palate acclimated a little bit better for this this blind that we're doing tonight. I'm excited for it. Well, there's a little. There we go. There we go. There we go. Can we still consider this the 4th of July weekend, or because it was a weekend prior? I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. Hearts are the best part of a run from a still. That they are. That they are. All right, so it's 7:10. We've got what? We got 15 people in here. We'll get some more in here throughout the night. But here we go, guys. We've got a fun little blind that I've wanted to do, and I didn't know if it would be a good video or not, but I wanted to see what the outcome of this would be. So I figured a live stream would be the best. You know, interact with you guys, talk about these bottles, because these two bottles right here, the Old Forester 1920 and the Wild Turkey Rare Breed, are two of the most like easy purchase, great bang for your buck bottles. But this new one here, the Green River Foolproof, is stepping into that category. And I wanted to see what these three bottles could do against a hard to find Weller Foolproof. So we've got 114 proof, we've got 115 proof, 116.8 proof, and then this one's 117.3 proof. So we're all within like 3 proof points, and I wanted to see which one of these would come out on top. So I figured, why not? My wife poured these for me, so I have absolutely no idea what is in what. I will find out when I look at the bottom of these bottles to see. But hey, it's going to be a fun one. You've never seen a small 1920 bottle. Is that a 375? Yes, Richie, this is a 375. So I got the 3-pack. It was the 1920, the 1910, and then it was also the bottled and bond one. I think the 1894 or whatever it is. I can't remember what all the dates are for the Old Forester bottles. But I wanted to do an Old Forester video, so I bought those bottles. I haven't done that Old Forester video yet, but I'm more than halfway down these bottles, so I got to get into that video before I drink them all, right? But let's start over here on A, and let's find out what these are all about and see which one of these comes out on top. It's going to be a fun one. Green River Foolproof is really good. I'm very interested in seeing how it does compare to Old Forester 1920 and Rare Breed. Steve, that's for me too. I have one bunkered Weller Foolproof store pick. It's way too much FOMO hype for secondary prices, in my honest opinion. Yes, the Weller Foolproof store picks, they're very good, right? I mean, I was just lucky enough to snag 2 of those myself for MSRP, and they're really good. I think that it might be a little bit better than just the batch product, but nonetheless, it's not worth that $230, $250 range that they're going for. Wow, that's a great nose. This nose is light on A. I wish I was able to let you guys know which one is which, but if I did, I'd find out too, so we can't really do that. But you guys are going to find out, as always, like I do at the end. It's not like a video where I can edit, post, and let you guys know what's going on. Josh is in the house. There he is. You guys got to get Mike in here. Mike's got to get in here and get rowdy with us. This nose is super sweet, super cherry, super fruity. Oh my god. Brown sugar, like a dark brown sugar, like really, really thick molasses running through this glass. Let's get on the bottom, into the goodness gracious. Can't talk right now. I'm talking too much. I talked way too much today. Let's get on the palate though. Oh, that's a musty boy. That's dark and dingy. The palate does not follow the nose at all. It went completely dark and musty. Makes me think Wild Turkey, but I could be completely wrong on that. Green River Foolproof is, no, where we were. Green River bottle gives me 1930s, 40s vibes. I kind of like it. I can dig that. I can get behind that. I like that take on it. I do. First thing that I'm going to put in the chat here, for anybody that's not part of the Patreon that is in here, make sure you guys check that out if you are interested and you've been contemplating it. A lot of these guys in the chat are from the Patreon, and we have a blast over there, and they will attest to that. We've got a lot of fun things coming for the Patreon. I keep saying that. We just did a Patreon blind. Salty Lettuce in the chat right here won that and got himself a nice bottle of Eagle Rare. I'm going to be doing bottle giveaways and raffles in there within the next week. I will have the first bottle acquired for that. So I know these guys have been wanting to know more info on that. So that is starting next week, that bottle raffle, monthly bottle raffle. So yeah, that's going to be a fun one. But the nose was great, the palate not so much, in my honest opinion. Yes, Salty, text Mike, get him in here. Let's move into B. The nose on this one is a little bit softer. It's not as punchy. And I collect Whiskey Tuber Glens. Do you have one available? I'm not a Patreon yet. Richie, I don't have any more at the moment. I'm getting another shipment in because I've got a couple of Patreons that have hit their monthly tier mark to get their Glen. So I have a couple of boxes coming in within the next couple of weeks. So if you want to send me an email, my email is there. I can definitely get one to you. Yeah, I mean, you're always here. I know you're here, so I always like to help out and hook up the people that are always, watching my videos and on these live streams. So, of course, Richie, I'll definitely let you know. Steve, that Patreon blind was an absolute blast. That was so freaking fun. B's nose, though, is opening up. I'm getting a little bit like of an apple pie note off of it. Wow, that's really nice. Cinnamon. Hey, Salty. I mean, you guys help me out. I want to hook you guys up, do something fun every now and then. I mean, I'm so busy. I don't know how all of these YouTubers do as much as they do. I mean, with work and everything, it adds up. But I always like to be able to give back as much as I possibly can. Cheers, brother. Cheers, Cask. I like the nose on bait. Let's get into the palate, though. Wow. Whoa, B is so good. Wow. Chocolatey. There's a little bit of like a saltiness on there. Wow. B is incredible. Look at it. I don't know if you guys can see the legs on that glass from B, but they are just, it's crying tears of joy out of that. Oh my God. Wow. B is incredible. Holy cow. Steve doing the recruiting over here. Wow. And then if you guys were wondering why the title is Anniversary Livestream, well, tomorrow is me and my wife's 1 year anniversary. It's been a year since we got married. This year has flown by like you would not believe. It has been incredibly insane. One of the best years of my life so far. So, I mean, that's why I put that there because, I wanted to see if anybody would come in here and just have some fun, have some pours with me the night before my anniversary, you know what I mean? But Steve doing that recruiting. B, I do think is a little bit better than A though. So I'm just going to move this over here into the first place spot, Thanks, Steve. Thank you. That means a lot. Let's move into C though. Okay, C's nose might be the best out of these three so far. I gotta give my palate a little acclimation. Thanks, Salty. Much appreciated. Thanks, Richie. Thank you. You guys are awesome. I love the love. All right. C's nose was really nice. It was super sweet. It has creme brulee and strawberry vibes coming off of this. A lot of vanilla, like a vanilla birthday cake. Like that, the vanilla creme brulee, berries, and vanilla birthday cake just like squashed into one little bowl. Wow, that is incredible. That nose is wonderful. Let's get into the palate. Wow. Okay. That one has a little bit more heat. It's a little hotter. It's it's got a little bit more burn on the tip of your tongue. Whatever's in C has a little bit more of a punch right on that beginning palate, but that finish just goes and goes and goes and lasts, and it's just packed full of sweetness. Wow, that is so nice. Once you get past that burning tip of your nose, tongue, for instance. Oh man, I like that. All right. It's got a little bit more of a graham cracker vibe. There's a little bit of a marshmallowy, toasted marshmallow, but it's hotter going down. It's hotter than these first two, where it's like almost like substantial. Like it's like at least 10 to 15 proof points higher, but it's not. None of these are that hot. That's really interesting. Thanks, Cash. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. C's nose is really good, but I don't think that the palate is better than B. It might be better than A, but we're going to go through these again from right to left to find out. But we're on to D. Oh, wow, D's nose is deep. It's rich. D's nose is very nice. I gotta get a little sip of water though. Ugh. So we are about what? We're almost to the All-Star break in the baseball, in the MLBs, in the big leagues, in the home plate pitcher mound kind of game. What do you guys anticipate? Who do you think, as a Phillies fan, right? I would love to see the Phillies make it all the way. But right now, when you watch these teams, who do you think are the top 4 teams in the league right now? I want to see some comments in this live letting me know who you guys think are the best 4 teams in the MLB right now. Let's get some conversation going. Oh man, D's nose is deep. What's going on, Alex? For everybody that's new, that's in this live, we've got a little bit of a blind going on. We've got Weller Full Proof. We have Wild Turkey Rare Breed. We have the brand new Green River Full Proof. And we have the Old Forester 1920 Prohibition Style. Seeing which one of these bad boys comes out on top. All right, Dylan Hanson says Dodgers, Phillies, Yankees, Orioles. Now, is that the order that you have it in, or is that just who? Is that's not an order? It's just your top 4. Steve C is going to pour some Green River Full Proof. There you go. There you go. All right. Richie says, I like the San Francisco Giants, and they ain't giant at the moment. Okay, so Dylan says no specific order, just top 4. Okay, I can totally get behind that list. I think that's going to be the majority of everybody's list. I think some people might say maybe the Guardians can be in the mix. Seattle doesn't have the record, but they've been playing really good baseball at the moment. So I think that Seattle might be pushing in there a little bit. And then Milwaukee. I mean, as a Phillies fan, I love seeing Rhys Hoskins just absolute hit dingers. Last night he hit a grand slam. Absolutely electric. Richie, as a Phillies fan, I have no respect for the Giants. They had their run. They had a good run from what was it, 2012 to 2016 ish. Would like to see the Guardians make a run. They're always underrated. Yes, they are. I mean, I look back at 2016 when they were the Cleveland Indians in the World Series against the Cubs. I wish that they ended up taking that series. I had money on them, but hey, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But I do like the Guardians a lot. I do. I do. All right, let's get into the palette on D. Whoa. Whoa, hold the phone. Hold the phone. That is, it's got some spice. It's got some complexity. It's got the most body out of all four of these. Whatever D is very, very rich. It coated everything. I've got a cut on the inside of my mouth, and these have been burning the crap out of it. I don't know what I did, what I cut the inside of my gum on, but all of these have found their way into that cut and have not made that spot of my mouth happy at all. Steve Sears, I'm not a big Red Sox or baseball fan, so Red Sox. Well, obviously, you're from freaking Massachusetts. No shit, you're gonna say Red Sox. Richie says, I feel you. Giants have sucked for a while now. I wouldn't say they've sucked, but I just don't think that they've been playing the type of baseball that San Francisco is used to. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, you could be playing better. You could. Who knows? You might. I mean, might be able to get second place in your division. Oh my God, D is so good. It's better than C for sure. Is it better than A? I don't know, but this is my order right now. I think, but we're gonna go back through C, D, A, and B, and see which one comes out on top after this. But I want to see some more baseball talk. I mean, it's the only sport we have left right now until football season. And once football season starts, that's when I'll be happy again. Because right now we've just got baseball, and at least it's an everyday kind of a sport, pretty much. That's my thoughts on it. I'll let my palate acclimate a little bit, get back to normal. Ugh. Ugh. All right, everybody. So I'm gonna go back through. I've had enough water, right? But okay, Thomas says, look out. The Astros are above 500 now and only a couple games back of Seattle. Matt, you're right. I as a Phillies fan, again, I have no love and no respect for the Astros. But they've been playing pretty darn good baseball. They're what, like 10 out of their last 12 they've won, which is absolutely great. They're on a run right now, and there's you can't knock them for that. I don't think they're banging trash can lids right now. But let's get into C. Let's get into C again. These have been breathing a little bit longer, and let's find out which one is a little bit better than the other. I love C's nose so much. But is it better than D? I don't know. What is the best bottle under $100 that is available on secondary? That's a tough question because if you can find a bottle that's under $100 on secondary, Is it worth secondary? That's a really hard question. Um, uh, I would go as far to say, if you're looking at $100, I think Old Forester 100 proof single barrels. I think they run about 115 dollars on secondary, where they're usually like 65 $70 at MSRP. If you're looking to spend at 115, Old Forester 100 proof single barrels are my go-to at that price point. I don't really think there are many bottles that are in that price range on secondary rather than that one. And cheers to you as well. Cheers to you as well. But I do think, going back to these, Adam, you are so right. We definitely need Green River to come here to New Jersey, because I wasn't the biggest fan of the wheated. I've had a sample of a single barrel store pick. Absolutely incredible. But this one, when I did the review, it blew me away. It was so good for the price, for the proof, what this has to offer. And that's why I wanted to do this blind tonight, to see if if it could stand up to the tried and trues, the 1920 and the Eagle Rare, or not the Eagle Rare, the Wild Turkey. So here we are. That's what we're doing tonight, right? We're gonna find out in a little bit. There's a lot of bottles. Going off of what you just said, Adam, there's a lot of bottles that I wish we had here in Jersey, like Bardstown. I wish we could get Bardstown here in Jersey. I wish we could get the early times bottled in bond here in Jersey. For some reason, we can get benchmark offerings. We can get the full proof, the top floor, the single barrel. I've never seen the bottled in bond here in Jersey. I don't know if it's offered here. I know one of my Patreons, Josh, he said he can get that anywhere at any time in Ohio. And, I can see some of the benchmarks, but not all of them. Richie said, I'd recommend just going straight for the full proof and the single barrel picks. Yeah, Richie, I would too. I would too. I mean, I had like I said, the weeded, I wasn't the biggest fan of. I've just turned it into a straight mixing bottle at this point, because I just think it's, the one thing I like about weeded bourbons is that they have that earthiness, they have that softness to them. But I think that it just turned that earthiness into almost like too much of a grassy note, and I was not I wasn't a fan of it. I just wasn't. I do think C though is in last place. So let's move into D and compare it to A. Let me know in the comments what you think the order is going to be. Do you think the Weller is going to come in first? Do you think the Old Forester is going to come in first? We're halfway through the way back, and I always like to see what you guys think your order is going to be. And if anybody's right, hey, you never know. You might be able to win a sample tonight. We might be giving away a sample of this, because I'm giving away a sample to the Patreons. Tomorrow I'm going to be drawing from the wheel for the Patreons. So if you don't want to wait for that, I might be giving away a sample tonight. But again, if you want to win a sample from the Patreon, make sure you guys go to the Patreon and join up if you haven't already. He loves the weed, man. You love the so Mike, the Rebel, it was super super sweet. It did not drink like the Green River weeded did. Some of those weeded bourbons just, for some reason, just are too earthy, but some of them just have that really, really good, just like, they're just so soft, so enjoyable, so sweet, and that's why I tend to always recommend them, but that's just one, the Green River, I won't recommend. You think in Rare Breed or the Green River takes your top spot, Richie? It definitely can. It definitely can. But let's find out. I think that D isn't as good as A, even though A was the first one we had, and I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but it's opened up a little bit more. Salty says Blue Note sources from Green River. He's pretty sure. I don't know about that, Salty. I don't know. A is not as good as D. A has this weird funk that I'm just not the biggest fan of in this blind right now. I don't know what it is because it's a little bit more of an herbal aspect. It has this like what is that? It's a funk, and that is leaning towards thinking it's the wild turkey because of that funk compared to the other three, which are like super, super sweet and just a mouthful of just like enjoyment. But A in this blind just is not it. It's not it. Dylan saying, I'm thinking Weller Foolproof is going to be number one. It definitely can be. I'm actually going to do A versus C because C was really not that it wasn't bad, but it wasn't the best. But this funk off of A just is turning me off a little bit. Man. So Steve's saying 1 is 1920, 2 is the Weller Foolproof, 3 is the Green River Foolproof, and then 4 is the Wild Turkey Rare Breed. Okay, I might be able to get on that train with you. And you guys are specifically just straight up going off of what my tasting notes are, and you're kind of putting what I am thinking into what you are thinking your taste profiles are, and that's kind of fun in these blinds. I love doing these blinds where that's why in the previous blind that I did, I didn't give you D because I knew you guys would like be upset about that, but you had to wait till the end to find out what it was. When my wife poured that blind, which was the D was the Elijah Craig barrel proof B524, the new one, and it came in second place. Just behind, oh God, what came in first place on that blind? What was it? Was it the Stagg store pick? Yes. And I was going back and forth with the Stagg store pick and the Elijah Craig barrel, the B524, for about 15 minutes. I was just sipping one, letting it sit and think about it for a little bit. And then I would take a sip of water, let my palate acclimate, and then I would take a sip of the other one and just see which one came out on top. And eventually that Stagg, just the sweetness, that sweet cherry, a little bit of a caramel bomb, just it pulled through a little bit more. And, I feel like that B524, even though it's a little bit younger, and I always say this, right? I always say this. They have to put the youngest barrel they used in that batch. That right there could have 17, 18-year-old Elijah Craig in it. We don't know. They're not going to let us know that, but they have to let us know the youngest. And for the C923, the youngest barrel was 13 years, 7 months? They could have only used one barrel of that, And again, they could have only used one barrel of the 11-year, 2-month in the B524. I don't really think that adds that much of a difference when you're thinking about it like that. That's my 2 cents about it. Let's go back to the chat here. Richie Nathan, is Weller Foolproof an actual core bottle? I've only ever seen pics. Yes, Weller Foolproof is an actual core bottle. This is not a pic. This one is a pick. I mean, obviously, I know, Richie, you know that store picks have the gold sticker on it. But I feel like you just said, because you didn't know that the Weller Foolproof was a core bottle in the release, I feel like these are actually harder to find non-foolproof store picks than these bottles here. And I have Josh to thank for this bottle because we did a little swapper-ropper. I gave Josh the Old Forester single barrel proof rye, and he swapped me over with this bottle right here, and was very happy with that. I know he was happy to get his, and I was happy to get mine. I'm gonna put this one back up. Let's see. Nathan can confirm Blue Note does source from Green River. The goat told me so. All right, well there you go. Blue Note source. But have they all? I don't think that the Tornado barrels from 3, 4 years ago are from Green River. I think that those are Barton 1792. From what I understood and what from my reading and study on those, I think that those are from sourced from Barton. I don't know. Richie says, I love the 2 picks I've had. Delicious. Yes. I mean, this one was a pick from Circle Liquors down in Summers Point, New Jersey. My man Jordan is an absolute godsend. One of the nicest guys you could ever meet in like the bourbon industry and a store. So if anybody in this chat ever makes their way down to Summers Point, New Jersey, stop into Circle Liquors. Let them know that I sent you, but nonetheless, Jordan is an absolute amazing person. Let's see here. Where was I again? Was I looking at C versus A? Because I think C might have been a little bit better. 29 in chat. We need some more likes. Yes, Richie, I like your thought process. We definitely need a little bit more like going on here. If you guys are brand new, make sure you drop that like. Let's get this thing going because, hey, you never know. We could be getting up to like 50, 60 viewers. That'd be great. I love when we get more of that love. Steve, thank you. Here we go. All right, I have to decipher C versus A because I wasn't the biggest fan of A on the palate, but C's nose, not so much, but what do we always do? We drink our whiskey, we don't just smell it. Poop Shoot McGee says John J. Bowman is number 1. Well, Poop Shoot, we'll have to do another blind with 100 proofers and see if that's true. I definitely think C is better than A. And there we go. That is A is in last place, but I'm going to decipher D and B. I think these are the last 2 we have to talk about here tonight in this blind that we're doing. These are both really nice noses. Poop Shoot McGee, what is your stance on Israel? We're not talking politics. That's not happening. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. If he says something else along those lines, let's get him out of here. Ah, my God. D and B's nose are both right there in the mix. All right. D is a little bit like cinnamon, dark brown sugar, sweet, with a little bit of a bite in that mid palate. Exactly, Richie. There's no political talks in the whiskey tube. That's just not what we do. We just have fun. We drink whiskey, we talk sports, we talk other things. Politics, it's just not it. We don't get into that because it's just, there's no need for it. There's no need for it. But B, here we go. Wow, B is really good. B is subtly sweet where it just lingers and sits and collects all of your saliva and just forms this little ball. And it just suffocates your tongue and pushes out all of that sweetness that it has and just explodes. B is incredible. B is incredible. I think B has to be in first place. Let's go D and C here. See if anything changes in these two. But A is definitely last place. B is first. There's no contest. B is in first. Baker Drinks, what's going on? Both of you in here? Or is it just Laura? Oh my god. C's nose is so good. I want the palate to be better. I really do. As you can see, it's the one that I've been drinking the most. Blinds are so freaking hard. This is so hard. This is so hard. I feel like I have to put C in second just because it's the one that I've been going to more often than B or D. It just has this underlying sweetness that just like comes through and is so nice, and it's got a little bit of this oaky presence that I just really, really enjoy. All right, there we go. Both of them here. C, I have to put C in front of D. I do. That's our order. We've got A, D, C, and B. A, D, C, and B is in first. Lock in your order in the chat right now. Before we reveal anything, I want to see what you guys are thinking is going to be in first place. Steve said, damn, Green River Foolproof is pretty damn good. Steve, you are 100% correct. And I personally don't think that it's A, but you never know. It definitely could be. And tonight it just fell off compared to these other three heavy hitters. I mean, at $50, you can't go wrong with all three of these. This is obviously the outlier. You know, secondary goes for about $200 on these bad boys, but it's a $55, $60 bottle in MSRP. And if we could all find it at MSRP, it'd be freaking fantastic. But we can't. But like I said, I want to know what you guys think came in first place, and I'm gonna give this 3 minutes. We'll do A at 7:50. So let's have a good conversation in the chat. I really want to know what A is, though. Steve said, I still think Old Forester 1920 is better. Salty says, so Mike is going to be a punk and no show. He said, more people just showed up where he is. I told him, I agree, Salty. I agree. Mike has been wanting to do these live streams for God knows how long, and he's missed, what, the last 3? Come on now. That's a little crazy. Richie says, a rare breed or Green River for first and second. Dylan saying Weller Foolproof. I just don't know. I don't know. Everybody and their mother loves Wild Turkey Rare Breed, and it's great. You know, it's one of those bottles such as the Old Forester single barrel barrel proofs, right? This bottle right here is a great bottle, right? It's fantastic. You drink it, you enjoy every sip of it, but you put it in a blind with other barrel proof offerings in the same like proof point of that bottle, it's not going to fare well. And I've got maybe 1 or 2 pours left in this. If you're part of the Patreon, this right here, the remainder of that bottle is a Spencer pour. We know Chief Heavy Pour likes to fill an entire Glencairn to the top with 1 pour, and that man is absolutely insane, but we all love him. And yes, his name is Chief Heavy Pour. But A, I do feel like I'm going to give my guesses. I'm going A, Wild Turkey Rare Breed. D, I'm going to go with the Old Forester 1920. C, I am going with the Green River Foolproof. And B, so A, in 4th place, I'm saying Rare Breed. 3rd place, I'm saying 1920. 2nd place, the foolproof from Green River, and B, Weller foolproof. I'm putting it in the chat right now. 4, rare breed. Third, 1920. Second, Green River. And first, Weller. There you go. All right, so that's my picks. So here we go. We're gonna go in A. A right now. Finding out what is A. Let's find out right now. All right, let's go. All right, A. Not that. Not that. Not that. It is Wild Turkey Rare Breed in 4th place. There you go. Wild Turkey Rare Breed in 4th place. That means we've got these other 3 bottles right here that can come in first, second, or third. I kind of called that because it had that funk. It had that funk. Let's find out D. D is in 3rd place. And, well, that is going to be the 1920 Prohibition-style Old Forester. I'm on a roll right now, everybody. I am on a roll. All right. And we did, before I even find out what these two are right here, we did a, back and forth blind with the Minor Bros. What was this? 2.5 years ago? Back when I first started my channel, they had started, I think they started their channel before I did. I had picked 1920 to be my $50 to $60 bottle. They picked Wild Turkey Rare Breed to be their $50 to $60 bottle. I ended up liking this a little bit more than this. And 2 years later, here we are in the same exact boat. 1920 Old Forester came out on top over the Wild Turkey. There's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. But we've got 2 foolproof offerings. We've got the Green River foolproof. It's beaten out these 2 already. The 2 that I wanted to see if it could, it already beat them out. Now it would be an absolute insane mayhem mess if the Green River foolproof comes out on top over the Weller foolproof. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but we're gonna find out right now. We always want to know what comes in first place, and first place is B. I don't know if you guys can see that. If you can, you can. There you go. First place is B, and let's look on the bottom of these bottles. Let's look. B. All right, so I know which one came in first place. You guys do not. I want to see in the comments below what you think came in first place. Do you think it's the Green River foolproof, or do you think it's the Weller foolproof? In the comments below, let me know, because this was a fun one. This was an absolute blast. Olivia Farino, you need to change your last name. I think your last name changed a year ago. Salty says, I remember that. Yes, Salty, when we did the back and forth, best under 30, under 50, under 75, and under 100, that was an absolute blast. Small YouTube channels just have an absolute fun. So fun. But, all right, Salty says, Green River for first. Why not? Dylan says, Wella. Dick says, Weller. Dragon Boat Lee says, let's go Weller. Steve, Weller. Olivia Farino says, sorry guys, I will do it tonight. Best year of your life. You don't have to lie if it's not true. Richie says, I think River got first. Matt Thompson says, Weller foolproof #1. And then Alex says, glad you like the Green River. Alex, thank you so much for letting me know that you could get this and send it my way. Absolute fantastic human being you are. I got to get your shirt sent out this week. I promise you. I know you said don't rush it, but I am going to. It's going to be out to you this week. Dick says, you think Eagle Rare would have placed in this blind? I think that Eagle Rare, because it's 90 proof and these are all over 115, I do think it probably would have gotten last place because of the proof difference. But I do have a plan to do another live here in the next couple of weeks, doing my favorite summer sippers, where we do the Eagle Rare, we do the Jim Beam Black, we do the Woodford Double Oak, and a couple of those other picks that I had in that list. But Michael says Weller. So here we go in 3, 2, 1. Is it the foolproof Green River or the Weller foolproof in first place? We've got, that is our order. We had Weller foolproof coming first, Green River foolproof coming second, Old Forester 1920 Prohibition style coming third, and the Wild Turkey Rare Breed come in fourth. This was a fun blind. I did not expect this to beat out both of these. But hey, if you've got the Green River foolproof in your area and you've been contemplating picking it up, in my personal opinion, go out to that store that you see this in and pick it up, because you will not be disappointed whatsoever. That's my personal opinion. That's my personal opinion. Richie says, not a surprise, Weller. You know, I'm a Buffalo Trace fanboy. I'll admit it, you know, and I put it in here specifically knowing that I like the Buffalo Trace mash bills and their wheated mash bills specifically, and knowing that I was, and you guys know I'm a wheated fanboy, and I just wanted to see, just maybe, this one right here could beat it out. It was close. It was really close. Obviously, I drank the most out of C, which was the Green River, but I didn't even have to go back and forth with the Weller. It was just, once I hit B, I knew it was that bottle that you just can't go wrong with. The Green River picks are even better than the foolproof. I might be able to agree with that because they're a little bit higher proof. They've got a little bit more creaminess. But they're a little bit more expensive. So, I mean, Richie, going off of like a $50, $60 bottle, I mean, I know some people might be able to find that for like $45. In my opinion, that's a no-brainer. It's a must-buy. This right here is a must-buy. It is. Weller is legacy. Richie, you're funny. You're funny. Salty, I need to grab the Green River foolproof. Just haven't yet. Salty, you do need to grab the Green River foolproof. I know you've got a great whiskey selection. You're missing out. You're really missing out on a great bottle right there. Oh man, it's so the Weller foolproof is like it's on a different dimension, and it's weird because of just how good it is compared to these other three. I mean, the Green River is very close, but it's no cigar. All right, I'm going to give you guys one little ultimatum here. Well, not really an ultimatum. Put in the comments one head-to-head that you want to see. Oh my God. Steve with the $50. I said I would super chat you $50 if you did a Friday or Saturday live. I'm a man of my word. Cheers. Steve, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. That's awesome. That is awesome. Steve, because you did that, I'm going to leave it up to you. What head-to-head do you want to see me do? Do you want to see a George C. Stagg versus Stagg store pick? Do you want to see anything, any head-to-head you want to see? I will blind it, and I will see which one comes out on top. I want you to put that in the comments below. But I'm going to put these 4 bottles back. And yes, Salty, he is a man of his word. Where did I don't remember where. Do you remember where you always have your bottles? I don't remember where I had this Green River. Oh, I had it right here. Had it right there. All right, let's get these out of the way. And I've got, Steve, I'm expecting some heavy hitters, so I'm breaking out the heavy hitter glasses here. Richie says an interesting budget head-to-head would be Cooper Craft 100 versus Early Times Bottled in Bond. So, Richie, unfortunately, I don't have either one of those bottles. I finished my Early Times Bottled in Bond that Trenton from SLB sent me. God, he sent that to me like a year and a half ago. And here in Jersey, we also don't get Cooper's Craft for some reason. So I have that down at my mom's house down in Fort Myers, Florida. But here in Jersey, I just don't have that. Let's see here. What do we got going on? Fiend Dog. Sometimes the bottles tend to get moved toward the front when they are good ones. Yes, I totally agree with that. I do. Steve. GTS versus E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof. Okay. All right. George T. Stagg versus this one right here. This was my wedding day pour. And I was going to drink this regardless tonight. And why not pour it right now? So, here we go. All right, I've got to write down what these are on these little stickers. So, GTS and EHT. Before I put this down, I'm going to see if my wife wants to pour them for you guys so that I don't have any influence on the pour. I'll be right back. All right, well, she is in the middle of taking a quiz for her master's, so I have written very, very lightly, and I'm going to put this on 3 stickers like I always do for my blind so I can't see what they are. So I've got 3 stickers there for the GTS bottle.
Just give me a second.
No, finish your quiz. It's fine.
Let me get a sweatshirt.
No, finish your quiz.
Give me 2 seconds.
She wants to pour these for me. So, all right. So I've got. She wants to pour these for me, so I'm gonna take that off, and then she's gonna pour this for us. So we're gonna have fun with this. So here we go. We're doing this, Steve. We're doing this one. So.
Hurry up.
Come on. All right, so you've got whatever one you want to put in there. Just make sure, like you always know, GTS for GTS and each Taylor for each Taylor. I'll be right back.
Hi. Can't really say anything because you can hear everything right outside the store, but these are my picks. Nathan, I accidentally poured a lot. I'm
Huh?
gonna pour it back in. I accidentally poured a lot. I'm gonna pour it back in.
It's fine.
You sure?
It's totally fine. Poured a lot for both of them?
Yeah, I made
Okay.
it equal.
All right.
Bye, everybody. They're big.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine.
Drink them all night.
All right. As you guys can see, she poured some heavy pours in these glasses right here. But surprisingly, I can't tell really a big difference between these two glasses right here off of the color. You know, a lot of people speculate that these are like 5 to 7 years, but then some other people speculate that they're 9 to 11 years. I don't know. All right, so Richie is saying I am betting that Nathan gets this easily. Golly, this is going to be a fun one. We've got George T. Stagg, the 2023 release, going up against the E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof. This one right here is the batch 10, supposedly one of the best batches released, coming in at 127.3 proof. So we're kind of close in proof point, not the closest, but not super far off. Let's move into our glass here on the left. Yeah, George T. Stagg is usually the youngest that you will have in that batch is 15 years. I do believe some of the years, the youngest was 18 years. I think you had to go back to 18 for the 18-year George T. Stagg youngest barrel in that blend. But nonetheless, still 15-year barrel-proof Buffalo Trace. You can't go wrong. But these E.H. Taylors, nobody truly knows what the age is on these. Just going into the nose. Obviously, both of these are the Buffalo Trace Mash Bill 1, so they're going to be very similar. It's just what are the nuances going to be compared to one another. Lighter, sweeter, richer. Man, they're both so good in their own right off of the nose. Let's get into the palate. Okay, all right. Delicious, 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 delicious. That's really good. Let's get into the palate on this one. Whoa. Whoa. That one right there is insane. Whoa. This one on the right. Just has so much brightness. Wow. Whoa. That one is incredible. Wow. Yeah. 100% the one on the right here. Your guys is left, my right. This one takes the cake. And I don't think it's a contest. I think it's the George T. Stagg. Let's find out. It's the George T. Stagg. Can you guys see that? The GTS on that sticker? I think you can. Yeah, George T. Stagg. That was a fun one. That was an absolute fun one. Wow. Richie says it's a blessing to own those bottles. Yes, Richie, it is a blessing to be able to have these bottles in my possession. I'm very, very fortunate, and you know, I owe a lot of my fortune to a lot of you guys. You guys have supported this channel like you would not believe, and it brings a lot of happiness to me. You know, I mean, yeah, what do? We sit here, we drink whiskey, we do reviews and stuff like that, but a lot of it is solely I love having the comments back and forth with a lot of you in the comments section on videos and stuff like that. In these live streams, it's such a fun time to just sit back, relax, and talk with you guys. You know, I mean, I only had a couple of pours tonight, but I'm I absolutely love what we do here. It's so fun. Richie, just an all-time delicious pour. It really, really is. But I want you guys to look at that. You really can't tell a difference in the color, which is mind-boggling to me. I thought the GTS was going to be super, super dark compared to the E.H. Taylor. I really did. We're almost. Oh, we are. We are. Are we? We are top. We are on the top of the George T. Stagg head. We are. We are. That's crazy. That was a fun one, Steve. That was a good poll on your end. But the E.H. Taylor barrel proof, even though it was one of my favorite pours before I got that George T. Stagg, it just did not have the bite, the mouthfeel, the creaminess, the viscousness, the viscness. What is that word? What is the word I'm looking for there? The viscosity. That's what I'm looking for. Viscosity. Stagg better win. I've never had either. Mark, well, the Stagg did win. Chief Heavy Pour. Is he in here? There he is. There's Spencer. Nick pours heavy again. Well, my wife poured 2 heavy pours here of very nice whiskeys. Hey, again, here, I'm going to put the link to the chat or to the Patreon in the comments. If you guys are brand new and you've been contemplating joining it, like I said, a lot of these guys in this chat right now are part of the Patreon. Join up on that. Someday I will try George T. Stagg. Happy anniversary, Steve. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, the tip means a lot to me. It really does. It really does. And if anybody wants to send another tip my way, I'll do another head-to-head. But if not, I'm probably going to hop off here in the next 5-10 minutes. But it's totally up to you guys. You want to? I'm not going to drink unless we get something sent this way because I'm already feeling it. And it's up to you guys to let me know if I got to feel it a little bit more. But let's see here. Spencer, what are you drinking tonight? Let me know in the comments. What are you drinking? Richie, thank you so much. It was an absolute blast. That first blind was so fun. Absolutely loved it. This was so fun. This was a fun night. This was a fun night. But our next margarita, the same one that you made the other night with the 20 shots of tequila, because that was insanity. Wow, going back and forth between these two right here, the GTS is just incredible. Sipping some Larceny C923 my boys got for my birthday tonight. Hey, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Fiend Dog. New job is a big pay cut, but I'm happier there. Hey, that's all that matters, right? I mean, even though you take a pay cut, right, you're still happy, and you're a lot happier than where you were prior. I mean, your happiness is more precious than money. You know, that's my philosophy on life. And if you're happy, you're happy. If you're not, you're not. And that's not worth it. Oh my God. Salty with the $20. Let's break some glasses. We're not breaking glasses tonight, Salty. We're not breaking glasses. But, Salty, what head to head do you want to see? I'm going to put these to the side so that nothing breaks. And I've got these. I'm not going to ask the wife to pour this. I'm going to do it myself. And I'm going to spin them around and whippy-doo-dah all over the place. But, Salty, let me know your head to head. Because I can control the pour this time myself. Okay, all right, hey, all right, Spencer. I'll have a pour of American Light Whiskey while I'm here. Spencer, what American Light Whiskey are you going to pour? Because I only asked that because I've got a little bit left in this little bottle here of a sample of the Penelope American Light Whiskey. This one, I think, was the 2023 release. It's 128.4 proof. Which one is it? Is it this past one or is it this one 128? Because I only got a 1 ounce sample and I'm at like a third of an ounce left of that bad boy right there. This is a good pour. I love that bottle. That is so good. All right, Salty, what's my head-to-head? 128.4? All right, we've got the same one going there, Spencer. Salty wants this live to continue. And I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I don't know. The Fiddler, Heartwood, and any Maker's Mark pick. Really? All right. That's interesting. Oh. All right. So we've got the Fiddler. Salty, I just want to let you know. This is going to stand out like a sore thumb. Are you sure about this? You don't want to do anything a little bit similar? I'll do it. I will 100% do it. But you more than I know that this is going to stand out like crazy. You know it is. You know it is. But I'll do it. I'll do it. Steve's saying you can send me the leftovers from that blind. Thanks. All right. So Spencer is saying Old Overholt 114 versus Old Overholt 10 year. Salty, are you gonna back that up? Because that sounds fun. That sounds like a good one. I've never done that one. But we have to have Salty's approval on that. Because, like I said, that's going to stand out like crazy. You guys do this to me every single time. Yeah, go with that. I like it. All right, Salty says go with that. So, all right, I'm going to put that to the side. I've got the Old Overholt 10 year here. The 114 is on the bar cart. I'll be right back. All right, so we've got the Old Overholt 114 here and the Old Overholt 10 year. So I'm going to do 10 year and then 114. So I have all of those letters matching up pretty much. Here we go. All right, so hang on 1 second. Let's see here. We got 2 glasses. All right, so 114 is going in this glass here. Great screw top. Like, this is, because this is on my bar cart, you guys know what this is. This is a mixer for me. But knowing that this beat out that bottle right there, incredible. Incredible. All right, so 114 is in that glass. And then we've got 10-year going in this one. I haven't had this in a very long time. It's been a while since I had a sip of this. All right, cork is very dry. Ooh, that's a leaker. Wow, that cork is so dry. All right, so let's move this around a little bit. Let's make sure we don't know what is what, right? So here we go. I'm already confused on what is what again. Salty. This is going to be a fun one because these are very similar at 114 proof and 121 proof. I don't think you're going to have a big substantial impact in that proof. So here we go. Again, I've got no idea what is what on these bad boys here. But this bad boy leaked like crazy. Wow, that cork got dried up like you wouldn't believe. All right. I've wasted more rye whiskey out of this bottle, tipping it upside down, than I did pouring in this glass. So these are fun ones. This was one that I was looking for like crazy in the beginning of the year. My buddy Kevin from New York hooked me up with this bottle right here, had it in the store, sent it my way. This one is an everyday rye that you can find, and I absolutely love it. So here we go. Starting on our left. I think it's really not that much of a difference in color in these pours right here. So here we go. One on the right. We always start on the left. Let's start on the right. Whoa, that is like medicinal. There's a mintiness to this. Wow, I really like that. Wow. It's not as orangey as I was expecting these to be because I usually find orange notes off of the old Overholts, but it has an underlying like it's not orange peel, it's not orange oils. It's like a deep, dense orange marmalade that comes off of it. Because of that orange marmalade, there's a lot of sugar residue that comes in off of it, but it falls into, it rolls into a little bit more of like a cinnamon. And because of that, it's a really sweet cinnamon, and I really do like that. Oh, wow. That's really good. Wow. Okay. All right. I'm all for that. It gives it a little Kentucky hug going down. And it is just packed full of flavor. Wow. That's really nice. That is really, really nice. It has more orange on the palate than it does on the nose. It's got a little bit of a peppermint. There's a little bit of a pine needle aspect that comes off of that as well. It's really nice. Salty says, I called the old Overholt 114 in the blind, just saying, Salty, you did. And that right there, that call on the old Overholt 114 is what won you that bottle of Eagle Rare. That is 100% the reason why you won that bottle, because you guessed the bottle. And, you know, I don't think you knew what you were guessing, because in my opinion, old Overholt 114 for the price, for the proof, and for the whiskey is one of the best bottles of rye whiskey you can get on the market for the price right now. Let's get a nose of this bad boy. So much lighter, brighter, a little bit more of a punch. Wow, that is really good. I think I know what these two are, but I don't want to get into it because I got to get into the palate on this bad boy. Wow. All right. These are so different, but so enjoyable in their own way. Mm. Wow. That's really good. It has this like Granny Smith apple aspect that rolls out of that glass. Like it's like a sour apple, but it's got this like cinnamon dusting that just is like dusted all over that apple. That is really, really nice. We've got a lot of glasses in this. Like, let me get these out of here because it looks bad. These, I'll leave those there. I don't care. Oh my god. I'm doing a little poll here for you guys. Let's see. You guys think OGD 114 or Old Overholt 114? Which is the best bang for your buck? Are you going for the bourbon or are you going for the rye? I want to know. Sam is late to the game. Cheers, though. Sam, cheers to you. For anybody that is late to the game, we did a blind earlier where we did the Wild Turkey Rare Breed. We did the Old Forester 1920. We did the Green River Full Proof, and we did the Weller Full Proof. The Wild Turkey Rare Breed came in last place. The Old Forester 1920 came in third. The Green River Full Proof, which I wanted to see where that bottle would fall, came in second place, just behind the Weller Full Proof. And now we are doing a blind between the Old Overholt 114 and the Old Overholt 10-year cask strength. And previously, before this one, Steve was very, very generous and sent us a $49 tip, and we did George T. Stagg versus the E.H. Taylor barrel proof. And, well, now we are on this one right here, and it's a fun one. These are two great bottles, great pours that you can't go wrong with. Salty says, I personally like Old Overholt over the OGD. Steve says the Old Overholt 114 is amazing. Yes, it is. Joe says Old Overholt as well. So here we go. I'm going to decipher these two really quick because I got to eat dinner. And again, if you guys want one more head-to-head, just send a little tip my way. I'll do one more head-to-head after this one, and that's it. Just one more. If you guys want one more, send a tip, and we will do that. But here we go. Wife is texting me, wanting to know if I want dinner in the oven. I do think that this one here on the left is a little bit sweeter, whereas the one on the right is a little bit more of like a denser, darker, might not be as enjoyable for a lot of people. Oh my god, this is one of the hardest head-to-heads I've done. Oh my god, this is so hard. I think I have to give it to the one on the left. I think this one on the left is going to be the winner. I do. So, with that said, the one on the right is going to be the 114, and the one on the left is the 10-year cask strength. So here we go. Cask strength did beat out the 114, but it was not as decisive as I was thinking it was going to be. This was very, very close and absolutely fantastic. Wow, Richie with the $10. Richie saying fantastic live stream, Nathan. Richie, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Richie, let me know in the comments below if you want a head-to-head, and we will get to that. And I'll do, like I said, one more head-to-head. And Richie, it's on you. What do you want to see as the head-to-head? Because then I got to eat dinner. We got to end this live stream at one point, right? Richie, thank you so much. C. Neil said, rare breed over Green River Foolproof. The Green River came in second. Rare breed came in fourth in the blind. So I might have to not agree with that. I can. Everybody has their own opinion, right? Everybody has their own thoughts on the whiskey world and the rye world. Both great pours. Both great pours. But C-Neil said, what did you blind it with? Just thought you were comparing those two. Oh, so C-Neil, I did the Old Forester 1920 at 115 proof. I did the Wild Turkey Rare Breed at 116.8 proof. I did the Green River Full Proof at 117.2 proof, I think it is. And the Weller Full Proof at 114 proof. Our order was, in last place, Wild Turkey Rare Breed. Third place was the Old Forester 1920. Second place was the Green River Full Proof. And our winner out of that 4 blind was the Weller Full Proof. So that was the 4 in that blind that went head to head. It was a great one. The Wild Turkey, though, just stood out. It had a little bit more of a funk that, compared to the other 3, just had too much of a funky mustiness that just wasn't hitting my palate right. And when you drink Wild Turkey Rare Breed by itself, it's fantastic. But in my honest opinion, when you blind it against other things, that Wild Turkey funk comes through, and I'm just not the biggest fan of it. Richie says, Old Granddad Bonded versus Wild Turkey 101 would be a great future head-to-head. Let's see. So I've got a little bit left of a Wild Turkey 101. And my OGD bonded is again on the bar cart. I'll be right back. So this is going to be a fun one because I did a head-to-head of a short with the Old Grandad Bonded and the Old Tub Bonded, both from Jim Beam, but they're a little bit different in their mash bill. I think that the Old Tub is a lower rye from my recollection. I can't quite remember. So, see now, I've heard that the Blue Note Juke Joint Cask is the same as the new Green River Foolproof. And we did find that out. Salty did his research, and he was also told that the Green River is sourced whiskey, or no, Blue Note is sourced whiskey from Green River. So there is that. But I don't know if they have been sourcing from Green River for their entire time span. I do think that those Tornado barrels that we have been so lucky enough to have, that I think are some of the best bourbon on the market right now, I think that those are 1792. They're Barton. That's what I think they are. But Sam says another future matchup could be the Green River Foolproof versus Maker's Mark Cellar Aged. Sam, to be completely honest with you, I contemplated throwing a fifth bottle in here, and I wanted to put the Cellar Aged in here, but it's 150 at 115.7 and at 14 or 11 and 12 years old. I thought that this would stand out like crazy. Maybe not. You know, like you said, it's another head-to-head that we can definitely do. And Steve wants to get me wasted. I can still talk straight. I can still look at the camera straight. I can 100% do whatever I want right now. But here we go. We've got a little bit left of this 101. We've got the OGD bonded. The only way to get me wasted is if you keep tipping and you want those head-to-heads. But here we go. Let's do this one right here. I will use these Norland glasses for this one here. I need to get some stickers. Here we go. All right, this is going to be a fun one. I love Wild Turkey 101. These are both really good mixers. Why I don't have this on the bar cart, I don't know. Because it was literally in the back corner of the shelf all the way over there. That's where it was. It's not even shown in videos. That's where that bottle ends up. But we've got 101 and OGD. All right, so OGD. It's going to go right here. This one is one of the more interesting whiskeys, in my opinion. Do I love it? No. Do I like it? Yes. And I'm very interested to see how it fares against the Wild Turkey 101. So here we go. All right, we got a little bit left in this bottle. It's going to pour out. There we go. All right. We got barely anything in that bottle. Wow. We pretty much emptied that bottle off of this blind itself. So, here we go. All right. So, Richie said, I'm thinking Wild Turkey, but OGD is delicious. C. Neil says, Wild Turkey 101 is goated. I could pick out that extra rye in an instant on OGD 100, I think. Exactly. That's the thing. You think you could pick that out, but in a blind, everything is so subjective and so different that it makes it so fun. Blinds are so fun, but they're also, again, when you're going back and forth, it's so hard to decide on, are blinds the way to do whiskey, or is just like maybe having a sip here, having a sip there, writing down some notes, thinking about contemplating what you're tasting, what your mind is thinking that this whiskey tastes like, compared to just a head to head. Because one day this one in my right hand might be better than the one in my left hand, but then the next day, depending on what I had to eat an hour ago, the one on my left hand could be better than the one on my right hand. That's the one thing with this world that we're in. You never know what is going to be better than the other. And one thing could be better than another one day, and then it could be vice versa the next. That's what's so fun about this. My next pour is the Patreon Super Blend. If you know, you know. Exactly. And if you know, you know. Here you go. Pasting the Patreon. If you're not part of it, make sure you check that out in the comments. Click it. Fun things happening over there. Richie says it's different when people are watching. Yes, it is. It really is. But like I said, I've got absolutely no idea where these are at the moment. We could have wild turkey in this hand. We could have wild turkey in this one. I've got no idea. Fiend Dog says a little from column A, a little from column B. Exactly. But we started on our right the last time. Let's get in the left this time. All right, I am going to make my guess right now just off of the nose. I'm saying Old Granddad, and I'm saying Wild Turkey just off of the nose. Strictly off of the nose right here, right now. Old Granddad, Wild Turkey. Gobble Gobble is right there, C. Neil. Wow. Okay. All right. That's good. A little bit of a nuttiness, but not as much as I was expecting to have. Guessing that was the Old Granddad, I don't know if that was the best guess. Here we go. Let's get on the right side. Wow. Okay, yeah. Okay. I'm flip-flopping. Old Granddad Wild Turkey. That is a peanut hit in the face. I don't know if you guys have Five Guys in your area, but if you've got Five Guys burgers in your area, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You walk into a Five Guys, the first thing you smell is obviously burgers, right? But when you sit down at a table, you have this peanut dust, this peanut shell dust that just poof hits you in the face, and you'll sit down, you'll crush 50 peanuts before your burger is ready. You're full off of peanuts, but then your burger comes out and you enjoy it. But that peanut note is right there, that peanut dust, that peanut shell is kicking your ass, and that is exactly what this glass is here. And this is the Old Granddad Bonded 100%. This right here is the Wild Turkey 101. Why am I guessing that? Because it'd be peanut and a little bit of a funk. But which one is better? I've got no idea. C. Neil says, I love Five Guys. Five Guys might be the best fast food burger besides Smash Burger. Smash Burger is fantastic. I haven't had Smash Burger since college, but I have a Smash Burger in the area that, I might have to stop in the near future. Ah, man. Your Smash Burger went out of business? How does that happen? Five Guys is a great way to take the fam out and spend $75. That's so true. I remember when Five Guys. Oh, we had the first Five Guys open up in our area down in South Jersey, and it closed probably about 5 6 years ago. But it was the big hit. It was the biggest thing. Everybody and their mother wanted to go to Five Guys to get one of their burgers. But once everybody had a Five Guys burger, for some reason, it just didn't stick around. Down in South Jersey, we're all about our pizza, our cheesesteaks, our subs, and stuff like that. Burgers aren't that big for some reason. So, McDonald's, Burger King, stuff like that stays open. But those other smaller, nonchalant kind of stores, fast food joints with the burgers and stuff like that, they don't really stay open. So, see Neil saying, Whataburger, Five Guys is Whataburger is over Five Guys. So, I've had a Whataburger. We had a Whataburger joint in Atlantic City in one of the casinos. Really good, but I don't know if it's better than Five Guys. I really don't. I don't. But I do think that the one in my left hand, I think was what I guessed to be the wild turkey, is a little bit better than the one in my right hand. So here we go. Let's find out. One in the right hand. You guys can see it first. I can't see that far. I'm blind as a bat. This is the Wild Turkey 101 is beating out the Old Granddad Bonded. Both great bottles of whiskey, both great bottles of bourbon, but this Wild Turkey just had a little bit more sweetness. The Wild Turkey funk in the 101 is not as prevalent as it is in the rare breed. One of my absolute favorite mixers. You can't go wrong with the Wild Turkey 101. This bottle is pretty much empty, and there's nothing wrong with that. But this one here, a great mixer. A great mixer. Both of them, absolute bottles. Great bottles for mixers. Can't go wrong with them. C. Nell said, never had Shake Shack. So, yes, Ryan, Shake Shack over Whataburger, I will agree with that 100%. I will agree with Shake Shack over top of Five Guys. I'll agree with Shake Shack over most burger fast food joints on the market for sure. But, Donna McGonigal, if you guys don't know, is my mom. She said, where are your glasses, LOL? Mom, I'm blind. I haven't had glasses since college. That's where they are. They're in the trash somewhere. But C. Neil says everyday eater channel. Maybe we'll make an everyday eater. I don't know. Maybe I've had ideas for an everyday disc golf channel. If anybody's played disc golf, that's one of my go-to things to do in my free time. But hey. Richie says, Nathan, besides the old fashions, what's the best bourbon cocktail to try? All right, Richie, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. There's 2 bourbon cocktails that you need to try. One is the Paper Plane. It's a 1:1:1:1 ratio. It's 1 ounce bourbon, 1 ounce Aperol, 1 ounce Amaro, and 1 ounce lemon juice. That is one of my absolute favorites. The Paper Plane is so good. But my absolute favorite go-to is the espresso martini, but use bourbon in it. Whenever you go out, make sure you go and ask for make sure you ask for an espresso martini, but get bourbon in it. My go-to, I usually go with something a little bit cheaper. I usually go with Maker's Mark. I like the wheat. It accentuates the espresso note a little bit for me. And I don't use Baileys. No Baileys. You're using simple syrup. You're using bourbon. You're using espresso and a coffee liqueur. Do not put Baileys in your espresso martini. If you put Baileys in your espresso martini, you're doing it wrong. That's my personal opinion, and my personal opinion is right. So Richie says, I've had whiskey sours beside the old fashioned. I love a whiskey sour. A little bit of egg white goes a long way. A couple drops of the bitters on top takes away from that smell of the egg white. So I do love a whiskey sour, but I don't know if it's a top 5 cocktail for bourbon. It's a hard one. It's a hard one. Exactly. Richie, Bailey's is a no-go. Bailey's is a no-go. Don't go for Bailey's. Exactly. Just try to bourbon grape Ricky. Bourbon, grape juice, Sprite, and lime juice. Ryan, what the hell is that? Bourbon, grape juice, Sprite, and lime juice? Bourbon grape Ricky. So you tried it, Ryan. What were your thoughts on that drink? Was it good? Was it not good? I need to know right now, because it sounds interesting. It's not bad. All right, it's not bad. But is it like better than other bourbon cocktails? Like, is it better than an old fashioned? Is it better than a Kentucky Mule? It's said to add mint also, but I left that out. So the mint definitely adds a little bit. It would add a little bit more of this like complexity to it, in my opinion. Depending on if you put it in like a Collins glass or whatnot. But if you left that out, then I can understand it. It would probably be a little bit spicy and citrusy from that Sprite. I feel like the Sprite might stand out a little bit more compared to everything else in that cocktail. Exactly. I was thinking that too with the transfusion, with the grape juice. It would probably be a little bit more grapey, but I think that, like I just said, that Sprite might stand out a little bit more. Let me know. Did the Sprite stand out, or did the grape juice stand out? Because you could be on the golf course and get one of those get a bourbon, whatever you called it. Fiend Dog, her difference between Bailey's and a BT or Buffalo Trace bourbon cream is Bailey's has artificial cream versus Buffalo Trace has real cream. Richie says, "Can I buy you a drink?" Still works for me decades later in a bar. So Fiend Dog, I personally have never had the Buffalo Trace bourbon cream. I've heard good things about it. Bailey's, I'm just not the biggest fan of Bailey's. The Irish cream, it's just it's not my forte. It's really not. It's really not. Ryan said it should work even better now. Drinks are expensive. Yes, 100%, 100%. But all right, guys, we are pushing 9 o'clock. We've been doing this for 2 hours. Again, I'm putting the link to the Patreon in the chat. If you've been contemplating about joining the Patreon, make sure you click that link. Check out all the perks you've got. For as little as $2 a month, you can help support me. I've got a bunch of fun things happening over there. We might be doing another barrel pick here in the near future. I know a lot of you guys want to know about that. But we are going to end this, and I've got to go eat. I'm freaking hungry as all could be. And this was so freaking fun. Again, I want to do more lives. I really do. I just got to find the time. And I feel like Monday nights might be it. You guys let me know in the comments below what you want to see in these live streams in the near future. But again, hope you guys enjoyed this one. This has been Nathan with the Everyday Drinker. Thank you again to Richie, to Salty, and to Steve for the donations this evening. It's been a pleasure. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a great one. I'm going to be going out tomorrow for my anniversary. We're going to a steakhouse. Maybe I'll do a little short. Maybe I won't. I don't know. We'll have to find out. But you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Till next time, this has been Nathan with the Everyday Drinker. Cheers.